let's get in positions, everyone. Camera 1 into a 2-second pre-roll. Camera 1, track left. Oh, good luck. Watch your focus, Challenge. We're on the air.
Kids wanna know. Kids wanna know. Kids wanna know.
Hi, I'm Chris Eddy, and this is Kids Wanna Know, and this is my dog, Jisha, and she's gonna help us with a story on pets and the heat. Go ahead, go get in the shade. But first, we have a story about two kids who are dealing with a problem that many of you may have already dealt with or might deal with one day. It's called divorce.
It's something that happens to more than half the parents in the United States. Divorce. Something we might not want to talk about, but something we need to talk about, especially since so many of you have been affected by it or know someone who has.
How many does it take to get it?
2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's your answer right there.
The big guy is Antonio. His brother is Andre. Along with math, they've been learning about divorce, why it happens, and what it is.
See, a divorce is when, two parents, they can't
Live to each other, they gotta move somewhere else. Gotta stay away from each other. Because sometimes they get into fights, sometimes.
Sometimes they may still love each other and may love each other forever, but they just don't like each other very much anymore. One or the other of them does something that they just don't like, and they stop liking each other.
Sharon Dowdle works with parents and kids to work through divorce. Sometimes they can work things out, and sometimes they can't. That's when they decide to sign papers to make themselves single again. But there are things you, mom, and dad can do to make things easier.
The first thing that's really important is for kids to be able to tell your parents how you feel about what's happening with the divorce, even if you're really mad. Be able to tell your mom and dad, I'm really mad that the two of you are getting a divorce, or I'm really scared that the two of you are getting a divorce. I don't know what's going to happen to me. It's really important for kids to tell their parents how they feel.
Sometimes we just need to get it out of our system to make us feel better.
right here.
And even though mom and dad may look like they're okay on the outside, they could be hurting just as much as you on the inside.
The hardest part is actually when I have to leave and go home. I mean, when you're married, you say good night and you go in your room, get in bed, and get up in the morning, you see him. But when you say good night and you have to get in your car and drive across town, that was my hardest part.
Mom has her own problems to deal with, but today her mind is on other things, like graduating from college. A place where she learned by asking questions, something kids should not be afraid to do. Like, what's gonna happen to me? Where am I gonna live? Will I be able to see my friends again? Sometimes the scariest part of divorce is not knowing what will happen. So don't be afraid to ask questions. The more you know, the less scary it will be. And finally, the third thing is the one you should never forget.
The most important thing, the very most important thing that kids should know about when their parents are getting a divorce is that it doesn't have anything to do with them. They did not cause it. Nothing they could have done would make their parents get a divorce. It is never about what the kids have done or who the kids are or how they've acted. It's always about what's going on between mommy and daddy. It has nothing to do with the kids. It's not their fault.
My older boy, I think he really understands. He knows that things just did not work out.
I think they love me a lot because I'm my dad, he's always telling me, #1 son, come here, My mom's always wanting to spend quality time with me. My dad, he's always, like, come here, Thomas, He's always there, to shoot some hoops with me or something.
But Andre took it a little different. It makes him feel...
Sad.
Really? How come?
Because you don't get to see him much.
But after a while, he understood Dad would still be around. He'd be there to talk and play with. He's still Dad. There are many reasons for divorce: money, work. In fact, there's only one sure reason why parents do not get a divorce.
There's no divorce happens because of the children. It happens because of what's going on between mom and dad.
Something that they want to make sure Andre and Antonio understand.
My worst fear would be that they might have thought that one of them done something. It was their fault. That was probably my worst fear.
And for those of you who wonder if there's anything you can do to get mom and dad back together, the answer is nothing. Just like the divorce is not the kids' fault, the getting back together is not their responsibility. Acting like an angel at home and getting straight A's should make mom and dad happy, but it doesn't mean they'll be getting back together. And the flip side is also true. Getting in trouble so mom and dad have to get together to talk about these problems is not going to make the divorce go away. So act normal as possible. Remember, no matter what happens with your parents, you will always have mom and dad.
They're always going to share the children together, and the children are like an example of that love that they felt together, like a picture of what that love was at one time. So there's always going to be love between the parents because of the kids.
Go up there.
Even though our parents get a divorce, it doesn't mean that things won't go well for us and that we won't be able to be happy and do things that we like to do and have fun.
I need one more shot to win, right? Yeah.
And laugh and play and do good stuff and do well in school. We'll be okay. It will be okay.